We've got to move to Rockingham County and a couple of other places. So you have a few folk, Ms. Joyce, you want to introduce, or at least two.
Yes. And I just want to say, at the Beloved, because as Dr. Barber has shown us that this poverty has a legacy to it.
Right.
But we ain't no ways tired yet, so we're working generation after generation to put an end to it. We feed over 200 people here a day, as he said. But let me introduce you to Ms. Terry Monterey Speed, who is the person who works here. Ms. Walina Campbell, who's also been a pioneer, who's now with the Greensboro Housing Coalition, that also works hard with this. Our younger set, Reverend Joe Frierson, who works with the Interfaith Group of Clergy, Brother Wesley Morris, and I'm missing somebody over here.
Lewis.
Brother Lewis Brandon, who's behind the camera.
Beverage.
And then Lewis Beverage, yes, who's working hard to get out the vote. Get out the vote. So that people will know that this is something we need to vote about. Vote with our feet and with our ballot.
So as you come today, Ms. Johnson, who can give us the best picture of the harsh reality? We know when we come into communities, you know, folk, we're trying, we're doing this, but really can just say, look, here it is on the ground. Here's what's really tough. Here's what's happening. Have a person that can talk to us about that.
Okay, there's a brother coming up right
Brother
now
Russell.
who comes through here, I think, on a daily basis. You know, a lot of our people who are homeless work every day. So people start out here at 3:30 in the morning every day to get a shower, to go work, to find work, and to have a meal. Just say what's on your heart, brother. What's in your experience?
Well, my experience is homelessness. I just recently, 6 months, got off of homelessness. But now I can't find gainful employment because of my criminal record. Yet I have no felonies, no charges, no bad charges whatsoever at all. And I still find it hard to become gainfully employed. And thanks to people like Miss Terry, I get a chance to eat every day.
Yes, and be loved, and appreciated. Yes.
But now, at this point, I'm at the point of getting ready once again to become homeless because I can't work to pay my rent. And it's not that I don't want to. Every day I put my best foot forward.
Yeah.
And all I want to do is get gainfully employed.
Yes.
Mm.
Thank you, brother.
Would you want to say a word here? You hear every day what you see. I mean, the harsh reality of what you see on a daily basis.
What I see is people standing out at 3:30 in the morning waiting to get a shower because they don't have anywhere else to get a shower. And then they sit around and eat breakfast. And just like Russell, they look for jobs, they look for work, but they can't find work. And so it's like maybe 200 people come here a day eating. 200 people, children, parents, you know, women and their children going to school, eating before they go to school because they don't have anything. They have somewhere to live, but they don't have anything to eat. You know, so it's just so frustrating that nobody's looking at it. You know.
So folks waiting in line at 3:30 in the morning?
Yeah, right against this, because they can't come on the property until we open. So they're over there, standing in line waiting to get a shower at 3:30 in the morning while we're getting breakfast ready for them at 6 o'clock. And then they'll eat, and then they just go out. And some of them stay around for an hour or so, but then some of them want to go into the temp agency and try to find work. And you see them 2 or 3 hours later, they hadn't found anything, so they're still drifting around. And same thing over and over, every day. And it's just really, really frustrating for me and for them. And just like Russell, you know, I tear up for him because I know how hard he's trying, you know, and I know how glad he was when he got his place, and how he's looking the same way again because he's about to lose it because he can't pay the rent.
How does it, as a person doing this every day, and then I'm going to ask my sister from the housing for just to talk real briefly about the challenges in housing, but how does it make you feel when you turn on the TV, for instance, you see a debate going on, political debate, and the word is not even used. I mean, let alone the policy. Or you see a group of folk meeting about economic policy, bankers, and you hear wealthy, you hear middle class, but you never even hear an articulation just of the word. How does that?
I get angry. I mean, I get angry when I can take a shower when I want to. You know, I feel bad, you know, but just like, okay, last week, in 7 days' time, 4 homeless people died. One of them didn't have nobody to bury him. Still, nobody even, he got family. Nobody even went to the funeral home. He's still over there. We're going to have a memorial service for him, though. But people are just dying out here. You know, people are sick, and the other people that died had cancer. They can't get no medical care, you know, and nobody's talking about that. Yeah, and then they adopting all these dogs and cats, and you know, and I love dogs and cats. I don't get me wrong, but I love people first, you know, and these people are really trying.
Sister at the housing, I see our logistics because we got to get out on this bus, but I do want to hear tell us about this housing issue here, the struggle there that you see.
We have kind of like three main parts. We have families that Terry's talking about who's in the streets, or they living in a van trying to find children that's going to school. We also have, he's talking about the middle class, that's evaporating. There's people coming to the Housing Coalition, have never asked nobody for nothing. Suddenly they don't have their homes, nowhere to stay. They don't know how to do these systems because they never had to use them before. And I think the worst thing, the policies that they have in place for the poor, it's a joke. To give you an example, I have a 23-year-old female that's have a 2-year-old son looking for a job desperately. She is homeless. And they won't give her daycare till she look for jobs 3 weeks and then they'll give it to her. How are you going to look for a job with a baby? Nobody to keep the baby. And if she don't do that, they're going to throw off work for you. You don't get a check now unless you're looking for it. So they fix it. They said, we got it, but you don't fit because you can't do these things. So it's a facade. It looks like there's service when there's really no service to deal with that. And the thing that you were saying about people making policies, I wish we could just get a crowd of people and bombard those places and say, listen, you got to deal with the poor. This is what Jesus said.
That's what we want to do. That's what we want to do.
So, I mean, that's the only thing that make these people listen. I mean, this stuff that Mick Romney and all of them, that's crazy stuff. People's lives out here. You see people in cars trying to stay warm or going into abandoned houses. I was glad to see some of them, these foreclosed houses. Some families are going and stay in those to keep their children from out of the weather. So that is what's going on, and people are not looking at it. And I'm glad to see this. Anytime we're ready to march, I'm 72, but I still can march.
I want to ask Dr. Brown to close us with prayer. But you know, it's amazing how you come here and you hear the frustration, but you still feel the spirit of wanting to fight, wanting to do it righteously. Let me say these two things to Dr. Brown to come. What I think Gene and I, we've been really transforming, all of us on this tour. One thing that keeps ringing, and we're going to try to write some about it, is that charity without social change is not enough. You know, we're not going to deal with this just with individual charity. That's wrong. It's a misnomer without systemic change. And secondly, mercy without a movement.